Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back. It's finally time for me to dye my hair again. My roots have gotten like ridiculously long and they're dark and I'm just not feeling them. It's time to dye them. I get asked many times if I bleach my roots before dyeing, and no. I just go straight for the permanent dye and hope that it lifts my roots. So we're gonna do that today. I went to Sally's today and I saw this. The store manager at Sally's was so nice. She was trying to help me find the color that I was looking for, but of course, all of the products at Sally's, or at least so it seems, a lot of the products, at least she had listed there at the store, were either too vibrant of reds, like you would get like a straight red or a straight orange, and all of the permanent dyes that had more of a copper color were more like brown reds instead of like a red brown, which is what I like. I felt like I was a hard person to work with. So when I, said I'll just mix these two, she's like, actually that might work because it's 6 IR, so it's 6 intense red and 8 G, which is 8 gold. I'm hoping and praying that together that makes a level 7 dye, and it'll still be intense, and then the G with the R will make it a copper. Let's hope. Needless to say, she said, call me when you're done and tell me how it turned out, if it turned out well or if it turned out horribly. And I said, of course I will. So let's get started. I've never used this product before. I've used Ion, but not as a permanent, not like in a box permanent dye. So don't really know what I'm doing here. It looks like when you mix the dye and the developer, it'll be 5 fluid ounces. So I got my little applicator bottle that I bought at Sally's quite a while ago. And we'll see if it only says 8 ounces on here, but we'll see if we can fit both of these boxes in here. But let's see what it says inside. So inside this box comes the developer, and this is the dye. I still check and make sure that the dye is what it says on the box, even though this was sealed closed. I heard a horror story when I was in high school where some kids would go to the store and they would swap out the dyes in the boxes. Not trying to give y'all any idea, so these people would buy the blonde or whatever, and then it would turn their hair like brown or red or black. It like wasn't the color that they chose. So ever since then, I have been checking my products to make sure that the dye matches what it says on the box. Paranoia. And then it also comes with, a pre-color treatment. Wow. What do I do with this? It doesn't say anything about. So there's a pre-color treatment. It ensures even color results from scalp to end, and then an after color treatment. And then inside also are instructions and gloves. I'm not sure if I'll use these gloves. I might just use the gloves that I have here. But let's see here. Add pre-color treatment to dry unwashed hair. Comb through and massage product onto dry ends. Do not rinse. Put on gloves. Would it be absolutely awful if I didn't do the pre-color treatment? I'm just gonna skip the pre-color treatment. I remember there was another box dye that I got at a department store that did the same thing, that had a pre-color treatment, and I didn't use it either, and everything turned out fine. Let's see. It says, okay, so we will mix them together and then put it on my hair. So I think I'm gonna leave the product in my hair for probably 30 to 40 minutes. I'm gonna put a bag over my hair to make sure that the dye doesn't dry out and it keeps my hair saturated, as I've noticed that when it dries out, sometimes that ceases the developing of the product, and then you end up with a patchy look, or yeah, pretty much a patchy look. Like some spots will have dyed and some spots will have not, like the dried spots won't, while the more saturated spots will, and it's just an overall not as appealing look as we would like. So here goes nothing. Let me check and make sure this is the right dye as well. before I start mixing. So it says here that this also uses exotic oils like argan, camellia, and coconut. I'll just dump the developer into this applicator bottle. Okay, so this claims to be 3.6 ounces of product. Let's see what it says here. I'm really hopeful that it'll all fit in this bottle. Maybe. I'm gonna add the dye into it. I'm gonna add in the other dye and then fill it up the rest of the way with developer. It's gonna be close. So this is with the developer, the red, the blonde, and then we'll, I'm not able to add in the rest of the developer because like it's already starting to spill. Okay, so I'll just use these gloves that are in here. Although these gloves are not my favorite, but they're right here, so I don't have to dig around for my other gloves. All right, here goes nothing and everything. Just want to get this done with. Okay. Let's just hope this is enough product to cover all of my hair. That's probably the biggest worry I have. I always wonder like if I'm buying enough product because sometimes the thicker dyes, you know, I could get 10 ounces of dye and if it's thick it won't spread, but I could get 8 ounces of a thinner product of dye and then it spreads well and I have product left over. So, but I always ensure that I get my hairline done first. Just want to get that over with because so many times have I left like a streak of hair not touched with dye. You work so hard to cover all the rest of your hair and you forget your hairline. So it looks kind of pink. That's what I'm noticing right now. But you know, I've had colors that have looked pink and have turned out really amazing. I'm just not a pink red fan. I'm more of a, like you guys know, those who've been following me for a while, I'm more of a copper red fan. I'm more like just a copper fan. You know, in a perfect world, I'd have like that like beautiful copper penny hair. But it's fun trying, you know, trying out different dyes in the process of finding that perfect color. You know, and I think I would say I found a couple colors that I would deem perfect, but I'm like loving this hunt of trying all these different reds that like, I'm good, you know. I'll just keep dyeing with these new colors. And I know a lot of you come on here because you're looking for the right red or you're wondering if a certain red will look a certain way, and I'm happy to be that guinea pig for you. This is like my least favorite part of the whole process is getting all this done. I was talking to my daughter after buying this and telling her the difficulty that it is to find like a really good red hair dye that doesn't go brown after 2 washes or that isn't like fire engine red or ridiculous orange. No offense to those that like those colors. It's just, I'm not one who looks really good in such contrasting, striking colors. The hair color would wear me instead of me wearing the hair color. I was joking around saying, I think I'm gonna open a business where I make dyes that are just red. They're all red hair dyes. And they look like natural red hair dyes. And they're all like all along the spectrum of strawberry blonde to like deep, deep red. It is so impossible to find a really good red hair dye, especially ones at like the department stores. Okay, so we're gonna brush through. There's always that patch that's like back here. It's like kind of like around my ear area that I, for whatever reason, miss it, constantly miss it. And I don't know how I do it. Okay, so I think that's as good as it's gonna get. What do you guys think? I got some dye on my wall. Well, it's on like the molding. It looks purple. It doesn't look like it's red at all. Like, you see that? It looks brown. All right, so I'm gonna let this sit in my hair for about 30 to 40 minutes and I'll be back. Wish me luck. All right, so here is how it turned out. wow, much darker than expected. But at the same time, I'm not surprised. Sometimes when I get these dyes from Sally's, they always end up darker than what I'm expecting. So I'm surprised but not surprised. There are some spots that like I missed, some ends that I missed. I don't know if you can see. All in all, this color is a gorgeous color. It's like this Auburn chestnut kind of brown. So if you, I mean, to me it's brown. So because you guys know that like red to me is like orange, copper, and red. This is brown in my opinion. Brown with a little red, but this is a pretty chestnut Auburn color. So if that's what you're going for, totally grab these two colors. I think that's so pretty, so warm. There's such a depth to the color that I really admire. But for me, I am going to change it. And I think, so since you guys know and you guys have been traveling through this red hair journey with me, and for those who have been with me for a while, I love you. My first thought was, man, I'm gonna have to do a vitamin C wash to remove this and then start fresh, but I don't feel like I should do that right now with my hair. I really would like to keep my hair, not that the vitamin C wash is super unhealthy, I just feel like it's more stuff I'm putting on my hair that could damage it. So what I'm thinking about doing is going over this with a semi-permanent dye, and I'm thinking of using this, which is Joico Semi-Permanent Fiery Coral. Maybe I'll mix it with another semi-permanent dye because I don't know if this is enough product to cover all of my hair, and then see how that looks. Because while it's not the right color, the depth of color is okay. This is kind of like a level 6. So if I were to put this over it, if you see on my hand here, I was kind of swatching it to see like if it leaned more pink or if it leaned more orange, and it looks like it leans more orange. So I thought maybe if I put this on, it'll kind of just add like a red vibrancy to it. And then I'm wondering if I should do that tonight. I'm not sure. Especially here where it's not, where the color didn't take so well. Well, not where the color didn't take, it's where I didn't put enough color on. Let's get that correct. It definitely looks a lot more brown, but again, it's very pretty. It's a very pretty chestnut color. I really like the color that it turned out. It's a good color on me and on my skin. I get compliments all the time. Like the last time I accidentally dyed my hair too dark, I got so many compliments on that color. So I know it's a good color for my skin tone. It matches more of my natural hair color, so of course. But I think it'll be kind of fun to maybe try to just put this over it and see if it'll give it like a little bit of like a red enhancement. So I think I'm gonna do that. But I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it on YouTube or not, you guys, to be completely honest. So follow me on Instagram. Here's my handle. So I left the product in my hair for about 30 minutes, and then when I washed it out, I shampooed it. I actually shampooed it twice because there was so much dye still in my hair. It still bled, like my towel has this like sunburst look of like hair dye on it because it's still bleeding. I'm going to assume this will probably bleed for another couple more hair washes. And then I forgot to use the conditioner that they provided, so I just used my regular conditioner, my Tresemme conditioner that I use all the time. And this is how it looks. It's really a pretty color. So that is everything. If you have any questions or comments, let me know down below. As always, thanks for following with me throughout all of this, and I'll catch you on the flip. Bye.